Hey guys, I'm back here and I wanted to make a video about my programming because I believe it's a bit confusing how I haven't even explained it on my last two videos. But yeah, it basically is about compound lifts that I'm going to be measuring my strength with. And so I am of the belief that bigger strength mostly means bigger muscles. Now, I have not much experience with training, but I believe that's true, and because it makes sense, it does make sense. So I'm gonna be picking some exercises like the big exercises, for example, bench press, squats, deadlift, pull-ups, rows, overhead presses, biceps curl, skull crushers, and upright rows. I believe that's all of them. And I know that excludes some muscles like forearms and some functions of the muscles. Like for example, it does exclude like knee flexion, because it the deadlift is not enough. Knee extension on some way. I know that there's a part of the quad muscle that doesn't have that doesn't contribute that much to the squat, so I know that can be a problem. But I'm just a beginner, so I believe I can work with just that, with just compound lifts and measure my progress with those lifts. So I'm gonna be giving you exactly how much I'm lifting right now and what is the technique that I am going to use for each and every one of these exercises. Because I am hoping these exercises will come all the way helping me measure my strength. So I'm gonna tell you how I'm going to be making these exercises and how much I am lifting in these exercises. So I have all written up right here. And for the bench press, it's going to be a touch and go bench press. I'm not going to make that pause. I will be practicing some pause bench press just because it's good for competition. I'm not planning to compete anytime soon, but it would be cool to try it out. It's to the chest and till lockdown of the elbow. Lockdown? No, no, like locking the elbows out. Yeah. The butt should be on the ground, and I don't want to arch too much. Um, I don't like how it looks, and I don't believe it's good for hypertrophy. And I also want to get big, not only strong. For the pull up, I want to make it not chin above the bar, but chin to the bar. I believe it's easier to measure because I never know when it's already over the bar, and I need to be checking on the videos. And I believe it's not so good for measuring. Yeah. I also want to avoid completely leg drive on the pull up. I need to be careful with swinging. I swing too much, and I have had an injury on my left lat, so that can be a problem. Because when I go too heavy, I pull like unevenly. I pull more with the right side than the left side, so I need to be careful with that. On the overhead press, I want to same as the bench press, touch and go style of lift, full elbow lock. I need to be careful with getting my feet off the ground. I do that too much. I need to be careful with leg drive too. In this exercise, it is far too common for me. The bar path should be like pretty much a vertical line. I'm gonna try that, but if that's not a perfect line, it's okay. Yeah, that's just like for getting better, not for measuring purposes. Now for the row is like a tricky exercise. I want to be completely still on my lower back, except for the beginning and for the lower, for the beginning and for the ending part of the lift. because I like to make like a protraction of the scapulae on the beginning and on the ending of the lift, just because I like the way to stretch, how it feels. So yeah, it would be good to have just a little bit of movement on the lower back, just in this part on that part of the movement. But I don't want anybody lift from the lower back. Uh, yeah, the lower back is just there for assistance, and that's it. I also need to be careful with the leg drive. And for measuring is to the floor. It's not really a bent over row. It's more of like a pendulum row because it comes from the floor to the chest, from the floor to the chest. And I'm not aiming to any specific part of the chest, like to the sternum or to the belly. No, no, just the some part of my upper body. That's okay. For the bicep curl, yeah, it's from the thighs to my chin, and it's a very basic movement. I just need to not use anybody English to lift the weight up. Um, not using my lower back to lift the weight up, just to compensate from the movement of the weight. You need to be a little bit like further down to compensate for the weight. Skull crushers, I need to work on that. I need to standardize my skull crushers. It has been a little bit hard to tell where I should stop, because I feel like the lads get involved too much. So yeah, would be good. I need to work on that. Upright rows from the thighs to the nipple line, to get it up from to the nipple line, and using, well, leading with my elbows like this, not just with my arm like this. No, my elbows should be up, and nobody English. That's pretty much it. And I need to be careful with dropping the weights on my upright row. And I need to tell you about squat and deadlift, but that those are techniques that are way too much studied. Those are techniques that it's too much to explain in this video, and I'm pretty much confident that you know what I'm going for. Just below parallel on the squat, do not round too much to back on the deadlift. Not even too much, like just having a neutral spine on the deadlift, and yeah, not doing so much of knee valgus. Those kind of stuff that are very well talked about in the fitness industry. Yeah, I want that for my squats and for my deadlift. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.